Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the sports segment of the weekend show. I'm Ayo Adams, and this morning we'll be talking about youth and sports development. In the last couple of years, we've seen a large reduction in the participation of sporting activities in Nigeria from the youth. Instead, a shocking amount of these young wards have started to indulge in illicit, immoral, and illegal acts, which has resulted to tragic outcomes and circumstances. The one platform that accommodates them and served as a hub of social and athletic growth has now been thrown aside as it's no longer a source of inspiration. On the sports segment today, we will be discussing youth and sport development and the factors surrounding it. With me to shed light to the case is Coach Olayinka Olagbemiro, is the founder of Youth Arise Football Academy with vast experience in the youth sports development and management. Good morning, Mr. Yinka, or Coach Yinka, which would you prefer?
Anyone.
Good morning. Good morning,
yes.
sir. And like I just stated, the youth in Nigeria, particularly the very young ones, have taken on a new route of indulging in illicit, immoral, and other crazy acts rather than going into sports, which was the bedrock of inspiration to some of us while growing up. Why do you think that has happened, sir?
We must know that government cannot do it all. When we realize that, we will move forward. If you look at the primary school, when we were growing up, I mean, the school facility, sports facility was there. You cannot remove education and sport. If you're in secondary school, sport was competitive. You had the all state secondary school games. You had a lot of interactive sports session. But if you look at it now, it's gone. People just build 4 walls of a building and call it a school. You cannot remove sports and education. You can't. So we have to go back. We have to go back to the primary school, set up a standard sports education, because that's where you catch them young. They go to the secondary. It's a process. Sport is continuum. You cannot just catch people even when they're grown. How did you get the interest? So we have to go back there, because when you do sports, you increase your self-esteem. Your physical outburst will disappear. But until we get this, and I've always said it, that sports is a large foreign exchange earner. So it is where we get it. When we get it right, our facilities are poor. So when you look at all these things, who encourage the youths? So it's a big challenge.
I mean, when you just clearly spoke about the facilities and the 4 walls now being just for school alone, like I stated, I recall growing up, we would go to school with anticipation of sports day.
Yes.
We would go to school with anticipation of principal cup
tournaments.
Yes. And
yes.
It was always something we carried at the back of our head. Coming home with those medals were a sign of progress.
Yes.
It was something we could boast with in our community.
Absolutely.
But these days, some of these things are not there anymore.
Yes.
And like you rightly said, to move forward, we need these things to come back into play.
Yes.
Now, the participation of sport for these kids these days, I know a lot of kids want to participate in sports.
Yes.
We have seen a lot of sporting platforms across our locality here in Abuja, and I see kids there almost every day. But we can still take away the fact that in as much as we have those kids there, you've spoken about how the structures are not being there. Some places have those structures, and some places the parents and the wards or the guardian of those kids can afford it. What is your stand on kids who cannot afford to be in these platforms? Because now, if let's say the schools in the rural areas don't have these facilities and structures anymore, but the schools in the urban areas do have it, so some people can. But the people who can't, what can be done to them to still give them that hope that one day they might be able to achieve their sporting dreams?
Yes, we must look at the fact that this kind of facility should be set up in the local areas. That's why I'm saying that government will come in, private individuals will come in, because the truth is that, as you said, the activities of the youth now is going haywire, and we have to really invest. We have to make a deliberate attempt to invest in these facilities, especially in the local government areas. I support even youth that come to my academy, because I know they can afford boots, they can afford the jersey, but I give them jersey free. We must make a deliberate effort to set up sporting infrastructure all over this local government area, and it must be a targeted area. When we see there's a problem there, we set up this sporting infrastructure. And we should also know that those areas, you find a lot of talent.
I'm a very strong advocate of Nigeria being a home of ridiculous amount of raw talent.
Yes,
But
yes.
you can find it. Even across the world,
Across.
Nigerians are always blowing up in sporting spaces. And in so far, since the last year, sport has been the one thing that's thrown us back into the conversation. Just the AFCON going on that will be concluded tomorrow.
Yes.
In Nigeria, we're really stunning in the group stages before crashing, and that was something that brought us back into development. And some of the players were inside the squad, the young kids who we had known from the golden ages, from the little ages.
Absolutely.
So now that still trickles down to the grassroots. It trickles down to the little development, the football academies such as Yafa.
Yes.
You said Yafa has been in existence for over 9 years.
Absolutely.
How have you been able to groom and build a platform so vast and maintain it to the structure that it is today?
One, you must have passion for whatever you're doing. You must put passion before money. So I've done that, and I've seen that Nigeria can carry the World Cup one day. We must go back to the grassroots. We must develop rightly, and I've also started investing in female football development. Recently, a girl won a scholarship from my academy, £39,000 to go to school in Brookhouse College, England. Yes, it's amazing. So we have to go back to the grassroots, and that's why I've taken it upon myself to develop female football. The boys and girls start coming to the AFA at the age of 3. So that's the structure of the AFA. From 3 years, we catch them young. You understand? And that's what we set up. We were in Port Harcourt when just recently. Our dream is to go to Lagos this year and Kaduna.
So I want to take us back to the grassroots, because for me, it's where we start from.
Yes.
Before we think about the stardom, before we think about the Europe,
absolutely.
it's always the
Yes,
grassroots.
yes.
And one thing I've learned in my time space is being the grassroots want to remain the grassroots. If you try to bring development in there, it's like as if you're trying to pull out their skin, you're trying to pull out the cultural identity that they have, or let's instill this here. No, this is how we do our thing.
Yes.
This is how we do. And without the knowledge of sport has grown, especially football, especially basketball, they've grown massively. Now, how have you been able to convince those in the grassroots to look, let's put hands together? Do you think that one day they would receive this hands thrown to them to develop their structure to the highest pinnacle?
Yes, they have to, and because once there's truth in everything you're doing, it becomes opened. So if you take players from the grassroots or take any sporting person from the grassroots, you have to tell them where you're going to. Let them see where you're going. Let there be light where the person is going to. I think we can never take away grassroots from sporting development.
The kids who just last week we saw a news about young kids, they were not even up to 20 years old, who have indulged in acts of rituals, who have indulged in this tragic, in this unforeseen, it's irritating to say this. You can't even say these things because you're looking at their ages. And I mean, when I saw that and I saw their age group, I looked back myself and I said, when I was 17, 18, I was worried about where do I want to play football.
I'm telling you.
I was worried about where's the next place that I want to carry out any sporting activity or just even play.
Yes.
Why do you think this mentality has been instilled in them? Is it the society that preaches this so much irk of development? Because it's now a snap of a finger. They want to become millionaires tomorrow. And they don't want to follow because the sporting activities and sporting growth, it takes a long process.
Yes.
It's something that even the talent factory is not enough. The talent factory might be vast, but you can't take everybody from the
Absolutely.
group. It's just you have to pick from the crop.
Yes.
So what happened? Do you think it was the society? Do you think it was because a lot of them were not getting out, or they were not seeing their peers grow into the bigger stages?
Yes, one of the things I told you is that you cannot remove sport from the table. You understand? When I was in Air Force Military School, we had all manner of sports, squash court, lawn tennis court, basketball. So everybody could key into whatever he wants to key into. But nowadays, let's say the truth. What gives you, when you play sports, you have mental strength, mental ability, you have a self-esteem, you have unity, you make friends. So all those things, lifetime goals, they are gone. So if you don't have those things, how do you start from? So we can use sports to curb this madness.
Mr. Yinka, that's a very fine place to live. But I want you to talk to the youth. Just give them a talk. If you're looking at them, a lot of them are watching you right now, and as vast your knowledge has been in the management and development of youth talent, what would you say to a crop of them if you're looking at them right now?
Well, if I'm looking at them right now, I'll tell them that they should not give up. We will rescue them.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Inka. And you can hear Mr. Inka said it. He said you should not give up, youths. You are the future. We are the future. Also a youth too. Brilliant one at that matter. And a lot of you, I know that a lot of you are still out there who want to participate in sports. And this illegal and illicit act that we've been saying it's uncalled for and is unacceptable in our society. Mr. Inka has stated clearly that you cannot let go of your passion for sport. Well, that's a fine place to leave it. And before I go, don't forget that tomorrow is the final of the African Cup of Nations between Egypt and Senegal. Are you Team Salah or are you Team Mane? Let us know on our social media handles. My name is Ayo Adams, and I'll be seeing you next week. Bye-bye.